It's just three jobbers. What's up, everybody? It is Dirty Kev, and I am here today with the other dirty jobbers. We got Max Zawak, and we got M. Abdallah, Mustafa Abdallah in this bitch. What's up, everybody? Welcome. I'm glad we're back together, and we're here for Summerslam, and I guess to do a quick review of Raw. Just so you don't get into this, I mean, man, Summerslam. The party of the summer, and you know what? I think the tagline it was "You'll never see it coming." Man, did we not see that coming? I'm excited to talk about this, and Max and Moose, just give quick thoughts. What'd you guys think of SummerSlam?
I thought it was a pretty good show overall. I'd say it was like a 9 out of 10. There wasn't really many gaps in the show. I think it was actually very fluid, and is probably the second best pay-per-view of 2020 minus the Royal Rumble. So,
my video just went out.
Wow, well, Kevin is fixing that there. Yeah, I'm in a complete agreement with you, Moose. I hope that's a word, agreement. But it was a great show. It really was. I mean, like looking at the card, it was a quick, brisk card. There was no filler. The one match I was not super excited for, we moved to the pre-show, which was fine. And everything on the main card was going. It was a good match. Every match was at least good to great, and a lot of good storylines moving forward. So I agree that Royal Rumble probably is still a little bit better, just because that live crowd effect does also push it up. Even though card wise they're very similar quality wise,
and Edge returning as well.
Absolutely, this was the best thing that WWE has done since they're have gone to since COVID hit, since they have not had live crowds, pay-per-view wise, and I guess show wise overall, better than any Raw or SmackDown individually as well. So, this is probably the second best COVID show after Double or Nothing, I would say.
Yeah, man. I think one thing that was really nice was I think we all can agree they nailed the Thunderdome. Let's start with that this week. Like the Thunderdome has been such an improvement. And you can tell. I think
quick.
That's fine. And I myself, Moose, would you agree when watching the Thunderdome? It just gives it that big feel. Like it was getting to a point with the PC. If you didn't give a crap about one of the wrestlers, it was so hard to watch them in the PC. Now I love the fact that we got fans there. Unfortunately, some of the fans are being kind of pricks. I think I saw like a KKK member on there at one point. David Benoit's been on there.
Yeah, there was a few. They're trying to ban those guys is what they've been saying. So
yeah, they should.
Don't be idiots. I mean, they're giving us a free access to this. If you get the privilege to be on there, I mean, it's one thing if like when the guy on SummerSlam had Fire Velveteen Dream, but like putting up KKK things or David Benoit or something that clearly is not cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
just
WWE is trying to do something for the fans right now. Like this was really a fan experience. They weren't asking for money for it, and stuff like this is what's going to make them make this like a premium service. They're going to make you pay $10 to be in this because those trolls aren't going to shell out money to go do this. Like it'll be on the real fans. So like, just don't ruin the experience for everybody else that's really enjoying it. Like from my perspective, not being on it yet, I don't want to see that be tarnished because I think they're continuously getting it better and better. So I just hope that these idiots stop trying to mess around. I mean, if you do something funny or something that you're not going to get in trouble for, like, that's fine. But don't do something like that. That's all I have to say regarding it.
Yeah.
Well said.
And I completely agree with you, Max. But I also didn't get a chance to be on it either. Kevin, were you actually like on it at all?
I will say it has been difficult to get on to the actual experience itself.
Yeah. Kevin and I both had invitations for it, but it was full every time we tried during our slotted slime.
Because I was just wondering,
time period.
Like, do you see anything different than watching on your TV, or is it just the fact that
I think it shows it like it'll pull up like a video like this, and your like video will be in a corner, and then you'll have the screen as the show in front of you on whatever you're watching it on. At least that's what I saw in the preview that Ryan Satin showed on Twitter.
I guess, you
so, but they may also want you to have just the show up on your own device, depending on how you're watching it. So I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's how it's done. I'm going to try to get on at some point, but I can't tell because it says to go on at your time period. I went on at my time period; it was already filled up. So like, I'm supposed to go on 20 minutes early because I thought maybe I would not. They would kick me out and not allow me if I go early. But apparently it was filled up early. So
a little bit of confusion there. I completely agree. So let's jump into SummerSlam. Yeah. On the pre-show, it was Apollo Crews versus MVP. Quick match, or I mean, not necessarily quick, but it was, it wasn't nothing special really. Apollo Crews is getting his little push right now, and MVP has been consistently very, very good on Monday Night Raw. I didn't expect him to win this, but I'll tell you one thing. I do like the fact that we just found out also that at Backlash, it will be Apollo Crews facing off against Bobby Lashley.
You mean Payback?
Or Payback, sorry, Payback. At Payback, it will be those two facing off against each other for the U.S. title, which I predict Lashley winning. But yeah, fine match.
Better.
I mean, yeah, he better, honestly. At this
I didn't want. To be honest, I didn't watch this match. I was, doing some other things, getting ready
I
for
didn't watch it either.
But it's mostly because I've seen this match already. Like this is a match
that happens every week on Raw. Like
so, I think frankly it was a mistake to put this match at SummerSlam and not have it be Lashley versus Apollo Crews. I think Lashley should have won the belt at SummerSlam and maybe have the rematch at Payback.
Yeah,
because Payback. This is what the problem I had with SummerSlam overall going into it, even though I really enjoy the show overall, is that a lot of these matches are rematches we've seen before. So, like, that was my main issue with it. And I thought that they should have presented maybe more first-run matches at the SummerSlam and then have the sequel matches at Payback a week later.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense to me, but hey, we're going to get Bobby Lashley here this weekend, so I hope that I really hope they give it to him because –
he's been U.S. champion already, correct?
Yeah.
I think he was a champion of some sort. I don't know if it was that or IC, but
one of the two, yeah.
I hope that because last night he was presented great with the Raw Underground. He probably was one of the few highlights of Raw last night. So
and like I said, Kevin, they have shirts now. Hurt Business.
Yeah, Hurt Business.
I'm in.
Got the shirts. I didn't like that. I was like, damn it! Like I like the fact they keep the shirts.
I like the back of it though. It says "I'm in." That's dope.
Cool. Yeah, I agree with you. Moose, what do you think of the match? I mean, quick, we can move on to the actual, beginning.
I didn't watch the pre-show, but I watched the highlight of it. And yeah, like I said, I've seen Apollo versus MVP like 3 or 4 times on Raw already. So it's like that's why I get it on the pre-show. So, but
yeah,
it was the right match to put on the pre-show. I'll say that.
Yeah. And so then SummerSlam actually was kicked off, the official SummerSlam time. It was Asuka versus Sasha Banks. No, Bayley versus Bayley. Sorry, for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. You ding dongs. So ding dong number 1, Moose, down below me. What do you think of this match between Bayley and Asuka?
I liked it. I mean, it was a solid match. I really wish Asuka would have won instead of and have her become like 2 belts. Whatever, but I like how they had Bayley win and Sasha losing later in the night, so that way it progresses the storyline. And they're also probably going to lose at Payback their NXT or their tag team championships to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. So I think that this is a start of, like I said, this is a start of the breakup of the perfect role models.
Yeah.
So, like I said, overall, it was a great match. I just love Asuka as well. Like
Asuka showed out, man. Yeah. She showed out. This was SummerSlam Asuka. Let's be real. I mean, 2 great matches that were almost 5 stars.
She probably wrestled 35, 40 minutes overall on the show. I mean,
yeah.
And then went again the next night on Raw. I agree. It was a good, solid match. I don't know if it was the best match between Asuka and Bayley. I think I almost prefer the one where Asuka won. A week or 2 weeks ago, but still a really great opener. Yeah, as you're expecting, these 2 wrestlers are going to put on a really good match. They're 2 of the best women in the entire WWE. So I thought it was why don't we just pair it with the Sasha match now as well? Because they really do connect. I think this was the right move not to make Asuka double belted and to give her back the Raw Women's Championship, because I think that they were blending the rosters too much, and I as much as I've really enjoyed Sasha and Bayley on both shows, I don't think they're necessarily
blending the rosters. I think it's just Sasha and Bayley on every show.
Yeah, I mean, if Asuka wins the SmackDown belt, then you have a Raw women's roster.
Okay, I know what you mean.
Like, not a tag team. Like, if it was, Kairi Sane and Asuka who were the tag team champions, then she went to SmackDown to do it. Like, that's maybe a different situation. But I thought it was perfect because having Sasha lose, that's, really the beginning of the instigation of what will be the demise of the golden role models, I think, because having Sasha be having Sasha do the face turn against heel Bailey is the way to go, because I think Sasha is way more likable than what Bailey has become. Bailey's become that grinding, heel, that slimy heel that people don't like, which is kind of crazy to think since she's
I like
been
her as heel. I like her character.
She was the consummate babyface for so long. That was what she was known as.
The next John Cena.
I know, and she wasn't called like the John Cena of the women's division, and now suddenly she's been maybe the best heel outside of Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Maybe even on par with Charlotte Flair. So, yeah, props to Bayley for continuing to show out. She had another great match here. She's approaching a year as SmackDown Women's Champion. I know it was like 300 and some days, 320 or so. So I was happy to see Asuka back on top.
Yeah, she's finally legit. Like, let's think about how many legit wrestlers, because of Becky Lynch having to back out now and Charlotte. I'd say when they start returning, I would say WWE right now has about 6 or 7 legit women's stars right now. I mean, I don't know. I like Nia Jax actually, and I like Blaze. I like Blazer as well. I think they're fine. I don't know. I just think it's really cool to think that a year ago we really only thought of Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and
I also think Alexa Bliss is a star as well.
Yep, Alexa Bliss is definitely a star, I would say.
She's been doing a different type of thing, which that's kind of shows how versatile she is how she can be in this entirely different feud with
Mandy Rose as well.
Mandy Rose, yeah. I would say she's on the rise as well.
Sonya was
when she sort of returns, she will. I compare Mandy Rose to, like, the comparison's kind of easy, but to Carmella. When Carmella was in those stages where you see she's got a great look and she's about to get this push when she won that Money in the Bank, the first women's Money in the Bank. Mandy's in that position where she really could take off on a rocket if she gets the right push. So I wouldn't be surprised if after Payback, Mandy Rose versus Bayley is the next feud on SmackDown. That could be a good direction to go because Mandy's over. She's with Otis. I think that could be the next thing. And maybe we even want to talk about Mandy Rose versus Sonya now. Well, we're talking about the women.
Yeah. Before we go, I just want to say kudos to WWE for making it. Like, I can't believe that I'm this excited about Asuka, Bayley, and Sasha, and all three of them just did so well.
It was what the show was half women's matches. Was there only 6 matches total? Maybe I'm missing one? No, there was 3 and 4 because
3 and 4.
The tag team match, Ray or Dominic, and then the 2 championship matches.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I thought it was a really well balanced show. But yeah, probably the surprise, maybe not a surprise, but like one of the great surprises of the night overall was Mandy Rose versus Sonya.
Mm-hmm.
Loser leaves WWE match. They really showed out here. It was a really fun street fight, brawl. I thought, and it was. Mandy Rose, I always thought was good. I didn't know how great she was, but she showed here that she can really get it done. I know Sonya. I've always thought Sonya could always get the job done when she's got the spotlight on her. So I was happy they finally got this moment. This feud that's lasted for probably 6 or 7 months since back when fans were still there. So
yeah.
Is Sonya hurt? Is that the reason why they had her lose?
No.
Or is it just to give
I think it was just storyline.
Yeah.
Storyline, and also it has to do with the fact that the court didn't want her shaving her head. They want her shaving her head for like the court case with this guy, just because to show that she's unstable. You know how court seat rooms are. It's just everything's
Oh yeah, because it wasn't a shave the head match first before.
Yep.
It was
loser loses their hair match. Yep. Yeah, good match. I was so surprised by that. I mean, Moose, what did you think of that?
Yeah, I totally agree with both you and Max. I like the brawl aspect of it. And I really never – I watched SmackDown, but, not as much as I should. And so it was kind of cool to see those girls showcase their talents like that.
Yeah.
It just shows that, they're also could be main eventers in the women's division at some point.
They're consistent. That was right. That was a match where from the get-go it was a smash. Sorry, had to burp there. So, I agree. That was a good match. Highlight for me, I was just really, really happy with this match. I would definitely put it up there as a top 3 match, I think, for the night for me. But yeah, anything else you guys want to add to that?
Overall, I think that it really was benefited by I know Mandy. I think and Sonya are really good friends in real life. So that that friendship probably really led to them having a good chemistry. So
Yeah.
I think it was just great. And one of a great payoff to a feud that lasted long. It's not always super often that we can say that about WWE, where a 6-month long story is actually ended well.
No, very good point. Yeah, they're very good. Yeah, again, kudos to WWE there. All right, and then next match after that, wasn't that the tag team match?
Yeah, and then we can get into the main event 3, I suppose.
Yeah.
But tag team match, I'll just say I thought it was another really, really exciting match. And, we knew these guys were going to have great chemistry. These are two great tag teams, great wrestlers. And I really enjoyed the debut of kind of Montez's Ford, new variation of the frog splash, that switching frog splash where he
so athletic.
changes direction midair. It's fantastic. The way he gets air in those spots is incredible. And I keep being convinced more and more each week that Montez Ford is a future WWE champion.
Yeah. I think so too. I think
3 or 4 of these guys could be.
If Vince and actually took the time to put in tag team wrestling like they do in AEW, these two teams can main event a very big pay-per-view. They could have a 25-30 minute match and tear the house down, I think. So I think given the whatever it was, 15-minute match, 10-minute match, whatever it was, I think that's kind of disrespectful to them in some sorts. I mean, it closed up. Don't give me that look, Max. Like, they're so good. Vince just needs to, like.
That's not what I'm arguing.
I think 15 minutes is still a pretty good
15 minutes is a really good time for a tag team match. Like, AEW does not have very many matches go along in the 15 minutes.
What Moose is saying is he wants to see them put on a show.
I do agree. This wasn't like the apex match they could have had as a tag team match. I just don't think that they needed. WWE didn't want them to be that at that point in the card. They didn't need the blockbuster match because they were planning for that later in the night. That's kind of I guess. I don't know. I get what you mean though. Like I don't think you're making a bad point. I just think that's not what it was asked for.
Well, I just think I also say that just because SummerSlam is traditionally like WWE's second biggest pay-per-view other than WrestleMania, and I guess Royal Rumble is probably close third, but I don't know. I just feel like I haven't seen a super, super good tag match on Raw, at least on Raw.
Because they don't believe in it. He just doesn't believe in it.
Yeah, which it sucks, but I don't know. I just wish.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I agree. I completely agree. That's why we got AEW, man, and that's why AEW is changing the status quo with tag team, and they're putting it at the forefront. Which WWE, if they don't listen to their past mistakes, it's just bound to keep happening. So whatever, they can keep their head in the sand, I guess, for now. But they're gonna have to at one point when the tag team division is so intense in AEW, they're gonna have to change or switch, I'm guessing. Cool, yeah. And I'm glad also that Garza and Andrade hopefully are planting the seeds to their breakup. Hopefully,
that's what I want.
Because they're both gonna be very good singles wrestlers.
I didn't like where this went on Raw. Honestly, I think Garza. I like his womanizing character, but they also make him look like it's almost starting to make him look like he doesn't care about his matches. He only cares about women, where he gets distracted so much during his Monday Night Raw match with Montez Ford that Ivar has taken his girl Demi from The Bachelor, and that he loses his focus and loses match. Like I have no problem with that womanizing. I've actually enjoyed it, him like with Charlie Caruso with this Demi kind of thing, but they can't. I just don't want them to throw away his in-ring character. He still is that like suave in-ring general, I'd say. So
yeah, good point. All right, let's move on to the next match. What was the next match tonight for that? It was
Randy and Drew, I think.
No, it was Dominic versus Seth.
Oh yeah,
Dominic. Yes. So Max, this was one of your favorite matches of the night. I want you to go in. I want to hear your take, buddy.
Sure. So I was looking forward to this match because I knew Dominic. It wasn't my most anticipated match. That was Drew versus Randy. But Dominic has been training for a few years now. So I really was excited to see what he could do because I've seen him sell. He sells great for Brock Lesnar. He's done really well in the limited kind of capacity with the Seth Rollins feud where he's kind of been running around doing some moves. But we have no clue what he could do inside the ring, what he could do in a 10 to 15-minute match. And this match proved to me that Dominic Mysterio is a future superstar in WWE. This was the match of the night for me. And in talking WWE, it's a top 5 match of the year for me. I thought it was fantastic. Dominic performed so well. Obviously, they really helped him and they played to his strengths. But even the next night on Raw, you could see he has more moves in his arsenal. This guy is doing moves that you don't like. I wouldn't expect somebody 2 years into their training could do, especially in their second match, televised match. I'm sure he's done training matches, but the way he was moving around the ring, the way how fluid he looks. There are NXT wrestlers still on NXT, not all of them obviously, but some people in NXT who have trained for 4 or 5 years who aren't as fluid as he's looked. And that was really excited me. I think Dominic's got a great look. He's going to get better and better with his promos. He's still growing in that aspect, which might be his weakest aspect.
And he's only 21, so
22 or 23, something like that. I'm not trying to denigrate him. I'm saying that's the one thing he's going to continue to improve on, especially with Ray being there with him, tag team with him on Raw, having Ray by his side, leading up to that eventual feud. Hopefully that turn by Dominic. This just was it was the creme de la creme for me of storytelling too. That's what it really was, because on top of that great wrestling, that's this street fight. It was a great story because he didn't want his dad to interfere. He wanted to do this himself. And it got to the point where Ray had to, because Buddy Murphy was a 2-on-1. Buddy Murphy finally got involved, and having Ray chained up and watching him, get taken out with the curb stomp.
And Ray never did actually attack. I think Seth actually attacked him.
Yeah, I think that Ray officially only ever attacked Buddy Murphy.
Yeah,
and he only interfered when it was a 2-on-1 situation. He really didn't interfere with the match itself, which was good. And I just.
What's going on, Max?
Yeah,
I thought overall this was – I don't know if I proposed there, but am I back now?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay, well, I was just really blown away by Dominic. I thought he performed very admirably, and it impressed the hell out of me. I thought I had a blast during this match.
Exceeded your expectations.
It did. That was probably why my expectations being so average at its base, basically, and having it exceed so much probably is what's making it stand out so much. And it also just showed how much Seth Rollins, he's such a pro, and he doesn't always get the acknowledgement he deserves. I mean, we all say how great he is.
He's one of the best, man. He's one
in the ring. In the ring, he can put on a star match with anybody. Just taking a guy in his first match ever and making him a star.
I like that he's finally truly owning this character. He's not, doing the constant annoying, just walking and talking really slow, come on, Ray, it's your fault. I'm glad he's more I want to do, he's more like how he was before, corporate set, where he was more intense,
sure.
Which I like that aspect that they mix kind of that together, kind of good in between. Moose, what did you think of this?
I think it was Max took all my points really, but I
kind of went off for a little bit. Sorry,
yeah.
It was just
But yeah, I totally agree with Max. Dominic showed out. He's get the Mysterio blood. I think he just it's natural for him. Naturally athletic, so that helps out. And he has a great look. He's he's like 6'2", 6'3", and
is he 6'2", 6'3"?
He's pretty tall. I mean, he looked like he wasn't. I off the top of my head, I can't tell if he was taller or shorter than Seth, but he looks like he's just around the same size. He's taller than Murphy.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's cool.
So he's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger, and if he keeps the same athleticism, I think he's gonna be a future main eventer for sure. But yeah, Ray helping him out and just throughout his whole career, I think that's what's gonna set him apart from other wrestlers. And I think Vince will really like him and keep giving him these key matches just because he is Ray's son, which it kind of sucks, but at the same time, Ray did all the work and he deserves it. So
it's good having Ray back too. I think that also helped this as well. Having Ray as a part of it, that just randomly on Max's
focused,
screen. Made it clear though. Your screen, you actually look clear now. No, sorry. That was some good radio there. But I think Ray being back adds a lot to this too. Just good match, exceeded my expectations. I think that's why I was just happy with it. I remember just thinking wow. Yeah, it was just, God, this pay-per-view really didn't have much that was bad necessarily. So let's go into the next. Line them up, and you know who was up next? It was Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, two of the best wrestlers in the world, maybe in the company, in the company, but also in the world.
Surprisingly, not main eventing.
Not
But
main event.
we found out it was the right
Why?
move, though.
Exactly.
We didn't
found
see it
out why.
coming.
We didn't see it
We
coming.
didn't see it coming.
Yeah, we didn't see it coming. Dude, so for me personally, I was very excited. Drew McIntyre is my favorite wrestler, man. I love that he is the one guy that WWE, besides maybe the Fiend, they're just putting, they're pushing the gas, pushing on the gas pedal with him. They're not having him take losses. When was his last loss? Wasn't it like early? He's getting a Superman push from.
I don't think he's been pinned this year. Maybe the first month of January before the Rumble, but I don't believe he's been pinned since the Royal Rumble.
He's looking legit, man. He's a stud. He's the best he's ever been. He truly is fitting the mantra of the chosen one. And this was just a good match. It was just, it was an old school match. It was a match you would have probably seen in like.
It was a Randy Orton match.
Randy Orton. It was good. And I think because of the Thunderdome, I didn't get bored once. But man, if this would have been the PC, I may have been a little okay, just because I'm just so used to today's style of wrestling.
100%.
Moose, did you have anything you want to add to this as well? I know Max took your points for the last one, so I want to see if I can kind of get some fresh ideas out of you.
Yeah, sorry. I was just trying to
look
look
really
up.
intense.
Yeah, my God.
No, I was looking up Drew's last loss, but nothing came up.
Well, you give your thoughts on the match. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah.
So I thought this match was really good overall. Really didn't like the ending until you guys pointed out to me that it saves Randy for later, and it just
And I will admit, Secord said that same thing.
What, he didn't like the ending, or
yeah, he thought the ending was kind of like, he thought it was a really good match, but the ending.
Well, because here's the thing, there was no RKO. I really wanted to see like Drew kick out of an RKO, Randy kick out of a Claymore, like something super exciting. Like, I mean, yes, it was still a cool match, like it helped the story out, but like it didn't have that awe factor like that I wanted to have, And I think, I think since obviously the feud's going on, that's just what's going to happen. At not Payback, obviously, but what's the next big pay-per-view after that?
Oh, there's not one in October. I know there's one in September. I don't know what it is. Is this?
Hell in a Cell?
It might be that.
They usually have that around October.
Yeah.
For the Halloween type thing.
You're right.
So, but yeah, like I said, it was a good match. I think Randy. It just shows that Randy is the best character I think right now in WWE besides the Fiend. Same with Drew. But yeah, that's really all I have for that. Exciting match. Could have been more exciting in my views, but overall,
I love it, dude. I love that Randy Orton. I think for the past few years, he was just kind of on the back burner in everyone's mind as Jason to truly get behind. Like, everyone loved to have him on there, and I think I always respected him. But I think after that feud with Bray Wyatt, he just truly kind of simmered, unfortunately. And with this, with this new version of himself, he's sinking his teeth into this. So like, I love it. I love seeing him as the best he's ever been. It adds a true superstar, and it shows that he really is the best of the best. Doesn't matter his age or anything. Max, I can tell you need to say something. What's up? What's up, bud?
So this kind of shots me why I'm liking the direction of what happened with SummerSlam with this match, and continuation with last night Raw, which I'll simply touch on, is that Randy Orton's been on such a tear. He beat Edge. He's been punt kicking Christian, Ric Flair, Big Show, at one after another. And, he seemed unbeatable. Everybody thought, okay, Randy Orton's going to win. Having him lose on a backslide with a wrestling maneuver, not by he didn't get beat. He didn't get knocked out where he got pinned 1, 2, 3. He got tricked. He was going for an RKO.
Out-wrestled.
And Drew got he got out-wrestled. Having that be the way that Randy Orton loses in this, this big run of his, you can see that's what's igniting that flair in his character. That's like, I don't lose. Like, how did I lose to Drew? And that's what's bringing out this fire in him, and that's going to lead to the intensity. Like last night, punk kicking Drew 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
That was sick. I mean,
that's intense. That's crazy.
It was intense, and bringing out that even more intense legend killer is that's what's going to bring this feud really to the next level. So I'm liking it more and more. It's not like this is going to be. It's a really great match. I don't think it's going to be a match that's going to be a match of the year when it comes time to do top 10 matches of the year. But we're going to show it's a great starting point for this feud, which could lead to, I think, the final culmination in this feud. Their final match has definitely the potential to be the number in the top 3 matches of the year. So I think when you look at it from that way, I think it just gets me even more excited to see what's to come from these guys.
You know what's
'Cause
even
Randy
crazy?
Orton-
You know what's even crazy is Drew got up after 2 punt kicks, which has never been seen. So that's even makes it even more crazy.
Similar to my booking that I put in last week that Drew should have kicked out of 1 punt kick. A little bit similar what he did on Raw.
I got you. I know what you mean. I guess nobody's just selling the punt kick anymore, right? After HBK. No. But yeah, good. I agree with you guys. Good match, great match. Maybe my match of the night personally. So yeah, loved it. I give that a 4 out of 5 star match. Like I thought it was really good.
I think that's a really solid rating.
Match of the night for me is the next match.
Yep, next match, which was Braun Strowman versus The Fiend. We got the monster Braun Strowman, which I really like his direction of his character right now. And then The Fiend, of course, was just Vince McMahon's favorite, it seems like right now. And you know what happened was Fiend versus Braun was probably a good 10, 15-minute match. Hard hitting. They're just two good behemoths, just two meat castles just going at it with each other. Yeah, fun match, and The Fiend ended up winning the title. Moose, give me your thoughts on the match itself and why that was your match of the night for you.
So Braun, like you said, they're just both big dudes, and like it really looks like an offensive lineman going against a defensive lineman. You know, that tall big dude versus a short stocky guy, and they're going at it, hard hitting, going through like the fucking what's it called, the plexiglass and all that stuff. Super cool. And I don't know, just Fiend's character, just like the way he just moves around the ring and tells a story, like how he just kind of like laughs too at Braun when like he's hitting him. I don't know, it's just super cool. Mm-hmm. And then I wasn't expecting like Roman to come out at all. Like if he was gonna come out, I thought he was gonna come out with the music at the end, not.
Yes, and if you did not just catch that anticlimactic announcement, which we've been waiting for, Roman Reigns returned, and nobody saw that coming.
You'll never see it coming. What a great tagline for something we never literally thought we'd see coming.
we just thought Vince, you old man, you're just sounding senile out there.
No, actually, I called it like probably 2 weeks ago. Roman's coming back out.
Did we laugh at you?
Yeah, and I think you did.
I would have laughed at you.
Go back in the archives and check. Yeah. I guarantee you I said it.
Yeah, I think you're right, dude, about that.
This was number 2 moment of the year for me, behind Edge returning.
Yep.
The moment when I saw that spear, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Roman Reigns. He's back. Yeah. I literally screamed. I kept screaming. I screamed and yelled for like a minute and a half. I FaceTimed Kevin screaming. I was just so pumped. You know, it brought that fire in me that I love, that wrestling can bring when they have the surprise moments. And now I'm so excited to see where Roman goes here. You know, it seems like he's a little heelish.
Earlier in the night, he was just like, nothing makes me interested. Like, this isn't interesting. Like, this doesn't make me. And
that's how I felt at the beginning of SummerSlam, where like it was really good, but nothing was like special or nothing was like standing out. And then the second half of the show happened, and it completely turned.
Yeah,
around.
you were so different. Yeah, Max.
Then Dominic and Seth happened, and I was just completely sold. Randy and Drew happened, was completely sold. Roman Reigns returned, I just
remember just saying to myself, like, I'd always wanted to see Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. Like, that's insane. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna enjoy this, and I did. And Randy Orton
got that stat, by the way. Last time he was pinned.
Well, sorry.
Drew McIntyre, last time he was pinned was August 26th, 2019 by Ricochet on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, no way.
By Ricochet, who they're not even pushing at all.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God.
I know. He did lose at Tribute to the Troops to come to Kevin Owens and Humberto Carrillo in a tag team match. And I believe Andrade was pinned during that. Since then, the only match he's lost is a mixed tag team, Asuka and him versus Dolph and Sasha.
Yeah.
Sasha beat Asuka in that match.
Yep.
So, that's the only match he's lost this year, actually.
So this is kind of going in a different direction, but is there going to be an Aleister Black KO feud after what we saw on Monday Night Raw last night?
We have a few minutes. I guess I do want to say he's my favorite wrestler. Aleister's been one of my favorite up-and-coming guys. I'm really excited for this thing. I like that they're finally making Aleister a heel, which is we've never seen. Even on NXT, he was more of a tweener, darker character than really a heel or a face. So I'm excited to see what they do here. Kevin Owens is my favorite wrestler. I know these guys can perform in the ring, so I'm really excited to see what they can do in a feud. I think I'm just excited to have Kevin Owens be able to sink his teeth into something finally, instead of being just the KO show guy, really, which is apparently I've read that is the reason why Aleister was turned heel, because they needed somebody for Kevin Owens and they didn't want to do. And Seth, they thought about having him go against Seth again, but now that Ray signed back with the company, they are continuing that with Ray. So I'm really excited for this potential with Kevin. I just can't wait for Kevin to be able to sink his teeth in another feud. It's just.
So what made you say that you didn't like Raw last night? Then?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused too, Max.
Less than a minute.
Can we do like a quick part 2, like a 10-minute part 2 if you guys want? Just
Sure. Let's wrap this up. We can call this the SummerSlam reaction and results show, and then we'll do a quick Raw thing. I'm still logged out of work.
So I'd say I gave SummerSlam a 9 out of 10. Like I said, solid show.
I'm a
very fluid.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Very happy. Yeah, very good matches. They really did it. It literally lived up to the SummerSlam mantra. Yeah, it was just exciting, man. God, good pay-per-view. Good job, WWE. We needed this little fire for us fans to really get excited, and they're doing a lot right now to get us excited. So pretty pumped up. All right, guys. Everybody like and subscribe.
Good
Watch
show.
part 2. Yeah, all right, here we go. Bye. Bye, bitches.